Hello, everyone. It's Sam and Fee here with another episode of Community Matters. It's a slightly different one this week. We've previously brought you kind of community-based projects. I can't speak this evening. Um, to do with health and food growing, and kind of that kind of thing. But we are joined today by the lovely Campbell from Jam for Freedom. Although it's not, particularly sort of, we feel very strongly, as Campbell does, that music and social gatherings and stuff are things that are vitally important for, all our communities. It's one thing to have the system set up that we need, but we can't ignore the social side of it, the things that bring us together, that give us strength and energy. And one of those things is music. And obviously, Campbell, you and your buddies at Jam for Freedom, right back, from the beginning, right at the beginning of lockdown, you were out there bringing people together with music, and it's been incredibly powerful for a lot of us over this difficult time. Do you want to, I don't know, if for anyone that hasn't heard of you, like where have you been? But for anyone that hasn't heard of you, if you want to tell them a little bit about Jam for Freedom, how you got together, and a little bit of your backstory.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable journey. And yeah, I mean, it really started as an idea to get musicians out on the streets, to bring rock and roll back and to spread truth and happiness and help mental health, and then lockdowns, because I was going out with the Jam for Freedom leaflets that I got printed back in 2020, and handing them out and just going, guys, lockdowns don't work. They lead to this, they lead to that, all these horrible things. Just trying to raise awareness so people knew that it was the wrong way to do things.
It's all coming out now, isn't it?
Yeah, but that there's trendsetters and people that are ahead of the curve. They get treated badly. Look at Tesla. Um, there's just so many philosophers like Socrates and Jesus. The list just goes on and on and on. People don't get it until it's too late, really, a lot of the time. And that's what Jam for Freedom is here to do. We're here to change the culture, to take the culture and be the culture. And I think that we've done such a great job, when we've turned up, all of us at the freedom rallies in London and around the world. And we've just brought hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people on one single day or more. And we've raised the vibration, and then we've just showed the capital of our country that this is the culture now, right? And we're not funded by the governments and the big corporations, and that is rock and roll to me. That's what I grew up listening to, with these groups in the 60s and 70s that were just bringing the music out that they liked, starting their own radio stations, making their own art, being creative, and then eventually it became the mainstream culture. And I think that's what Jam for Freedom's doing on our never-ending journey to bring these free gigs to people. And we've got a couple this weekend as well in Leicester and St Albans.
Yeah,
so it's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, another one in St Albans, because we met quite a while back now, didn't we? And you've become, like, Jam for Freedom has become like a regular at so many super stands and the protests. And I don't think there are any standers that wouldn't know who Jam for Freedom are, because anytime we're looking to really raise the vibration, which is so important. I think it kind of gets maybe neglected a bit, when looking at changing the system and everything that's going on. There's a lot of reasons for people to be living in fear, but as I'm constantly saying, that's exactly what they want, is to hold us in that space of fear and paralysis. But when we're getting together, and it's in that joyful way, it has a huge impact on how things turn out, on how we then go back out into the world after a protest, or after going to one of your gigs or one of the superstars, anything like that. It changes your frequency. So it's every bit as important to have this kind of expression, that freedom of expression within the movement, as you know, all the maybe more nuts and bolts things when it comes to creating new systems. So yeah, it's you've been everywhere. I mean, I don't think there's anywhere in Britain now, is there, that you've not been?
We've not been to Cornwall.
Have you
and
not?
Out to Cornwall standers. When's the next super stand in Cornwall?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're planning to go there in September. It's not confirmed yet. I just need to check out where I'm going to be. But yeah, I haven't been to Cornwall, and I haven't been to like the north part of Scotland, like Aberdeen, and I haven't been to North Wales. We haven't done any gigs in like Norwich or Ipswich, but that is basically the only places we haven't done, you know, of note. We've done all the big cities numerous times: Liverpool, Manchester, London.
You've been down to our little town, Basingstoke. You came
Loved
to our,
Basingstoke.
Yeah, we got a great group. Group. Yeah, we had a great time for our stand anniversary. Yeah, it was an absolute privilege to have.
It's incredible. It's incredible seeing everyone, like going around, like you know, sometimes we do gigs on a Saturday night somewhere. Like we did our 100th show in Scotland. Just trying to remember the name of the town. But then the next day, on the Sunday, we went to a local stand in the park, and it was just like beautiful sunny day, and it was just like, you know, I just couldn't believe I was so far up north, because I'm normally based down south in England. Yeah, it's been an incredible journey. But yeah, I mean, Jam for Freedom, it's kind of like its own economy. And talking about creating new systems, you know, what we do is in effect, it's a touring festival. And you know, I'm sipping on some rose tea that my girlfriend's made, and when we go around with Jam for Freedom, what we've created is now we've got products, so we go and sell, and people buy these, and it helps us keep going. And they're super healthy, organic, wild. So we've got some sea moss gel. It's called Nature for Freedom.
Yeah, she makes lovely stuff.
It's amazing stuff.
It's really good.
So it just sells out. So you can get it on our website. You can get it when you see us. And there's like salves, it's like homemade moisturizers. That one's an almond oil. She's got coconut oil ones. She makes the teas as well.
Yeah.
And she just hand writes the ingredients on, and it's just all totally homemade, really good price. What's that one? I'm not introducing them, but there's just so many. If you go to the website, you can see them all, but they're just fantastic. You can use the code Jam for Freedom as well. You can get a £5 off, and you can redeem it to your mate. So natureforfreedom.com. But anyway, that's just something that we've done on the side, and it's amazing to see people bringing their own ideas and creativity to create this alternative economy that's away from the system. Because, you know, my girlfriend, she works in the care industry, so she's a carer. She's worked at schools with children, autistic children, and she's struggling to find a job because you know, she went for an interview the other day, and they said you can't work here unless you wear a mask, and it's just like, she's not going to wear a mask. So it's like, are we going to have to create our own, you know, care homes and schools?
That would be great. And when you do, please let me know, because that's my background, and I'm looking for work
from
September.
Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, we're both carers. Yeah, we'll be there.
This is what I'm saying. Let's create our own initiatives. You know, and Jam for Freedom it's its own economy. And when the lockdowns happened, there were no gigs for musicians, and I turned up and said, I'm not having that, guys. We're going on tour, and we're going to make it work, and we're going to stay places. We're going to get our travel covered. We're going to make a little bit of money on the side so we can save, and we're going to also, you know, that wasn't the main reason, but that was something that we managed to make work as well. But, you know, the main reason was to end lockdowns and bring mental health, help mental health and just rebel
Bring people
against.
together.
Yeah, bring people together, and we did, and do it because we want to, and we're just going to do it, and you're not going to stop us. And we did it. But yeah, building our own economies and building our own networks is incredible. And on this Jam for Freedom journey that I've been on, and loads of other musicians have joined me on, which has been amazing to just tour. And I'm in Lincolnshire at a musician's house at the moment, where we stayed overnight and we did a rehearsal, and we're looking at houses to rent. But meeting all these musicians, we form a community and we share ideas, and we go to people's houses and we meet ex-head teachers and ex-engineers and people that are in the army, and all these amazing people from all walks of life. Like a guitarist that's playing with us that we met in Wolverhampton, saw him playing a guitar under the tree, looked at him and went, "You're playing in rhythm, you should come and jam with us." He couldn't jam with us that day because there wasn't enough time, but he then jammed with us the next week, and he's incredible. He's like a pure talent. He just rehearsed with us today. He's coming on tour with us.
Oh,
And he had to, Tom, he's a legend. He had to leave his,
that was at the West
Tomic,
which was amazing.
yeah,
I know Tom. Wow, brilliant.
So he had to, you might know his story, but he was working in the IT for the NHS, and he had to leave because he didn't want to wear a mask. He didn't want to do the bullshit. And here he is now. Now we're going to go and see what we can do with with Tomek on tour and some other great musicians. So it is an amazing journey. And I just say to anybody, just go for it. Create your own vision, and let's join up together. Let's get our own care homes, and do our own teaching and our own schools. There's a lot of there's hope in Sussex that are doing.
Yeah, of course. We saw each other at the the festival that Hope Sussex put on. That was an incredible weekend. You guys were amazing.
And
I just love it.
Really
all of that. This is like the next step of the journey, really, isn't it? So we all kind of started our movements and projects and things, and it was very much like, we're not having this. So we are going to meet in parks. We are going to go on tour. We are going to do all these things that we're being told not to. And as things are sort of progressing, it is like this, the alternative community projects and the alternative systems that we're building, the ideas that are coming through the economy, like the awakened economy, if you like, and we're seeing it come to kind of fruition now, because it's out of necessity. And anything like the care homes, for example, there are going to be so many people that do not want to be in those environments where it is masks and jabs and restrictions and being told who can visit and on and on and on. So it's absolute necessity that we do build these things, and we are seeing it happen, which is reassuring.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just really excited. And a lot of people in a lot of groups in history, they created their own economies, they've created their own ideas, their own inventions. So we got to take encouragement that we're really just following in the footsteps of greatness.
We are seeing so much creativity and so many kind of really brave, inspiring people kind of stepping forward and going, okay, here we are, right, this is what we're going to do. Like, let's all do it around the country and link together, and then we got this set, and in sort of every area. And as I said at the beginning, I think it is important that although we need to focus on these systems, of course we do, but I think one of the biggest things to come out of all of this is this sense of community that I don't think anyone will argue that over the last few decades, community has been lost from, our wider sort of society. There's, you know, our parents would talk about how they used to, you know everyone in their road and go out and talk to everyone, and that's very much been lost. And I think, you know, one of the biggest things that we're seeing right now is people actually really coming together, uniting, getting to know each other, learning to, you know, support each other again, come together. And
Yeah.
the focus on, you know, that unity, that I want to say socialism, but I know there's another meaning to that word, and that's not what I mean. but being social together, enjoying each other's company, you know, and it's what we talk about is
Yeah.
being together is so important.
Just like organic humanity.
Yes,
Infectious,
I like
though, in a good way.
It
Infectious.
just came to me whilst drinking organic tea.
Yeah.
It must be something.
I remember the first time I had a super stand it was the first super stand, I think, in St Albans, when you came along with the guys to play, and there were restrictions in place. There were still loads of people walking around the park in masks. I think we had the COVID wardens at that point, and
they were a bundle of laughs,
quite
weren't
tense.
they?
Oh yeah, great guys. But I remember people being drawn, like they could see us. We had all our flags and balloons, and the music was playing, and people kind of drifting towards us, like they couldn't help but be drawn by the music and the people dancing and having fun. And you could tell, we were like, yeah, come over. They were a bit, you know, in trepidation, like, what are these people doing? But the energy just draws people in, and you can tell they're thinking, well, this is where the fun's at, this is more like it, you know, instead of being walking around hidden and completely cut off. And it is, and this is of course what they want, is for us to lose that connection. But anytime you have people coming together, and there's no better way than music, I think, because it's bypassing any kind of need for, it's another kind of language, isn't it, that speaks to everyone. And it just, yeah, it's infectious in the most positive way. And
Yeah.
I think when we're coming together in that way, however it is, it does attract people, and it connects them to that deeper level of yeah, but just being together, the collective.
It's definitely what the world needs right now. Is reconnection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In every way.
I totally agree. It's like, yeah, you know, people back in the day would have you know, they'd know everyone on the road, or they'd know everyone in the tribe. And that is, a lot of that's gone. I think a lot of modern Western society is a bit kind of like broken. Industrial revolution and wars and conflict, and you know, it's I think it's exhausted a lot of people, and it's caused a lot of internal migration. You know, a lot of Scottish people went to England, and Irish people, and then a lot of them went to America, and then Canada. You know, and there's a whole, you know, there's been a massive shake-up of culture and society, especially in Britain and Ireland, over hundreds of years and in recent times. And I think that we've got to recover it. And now is the time. Now's always been the time, but now more than ever, we have to reject, you know, the modern, I guess, way of living and the technocracy that's being brought in some degree, so in some places. And it's exciting, and music is part of it. You know, it's you know, we get around the campfire and we celebrate and we sing songs, and everyone dances and gets involved, and it's one of the core parts of a strong society is good music and celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
And family. I can see you joined by some lovely.
You like a good dance, don't you, buddy? This one's got some moves.
Like his mama.
Yeah, I've been known to get down on the dance floor.
Did he enjoy Hope Festival?
Yeah, you enjoyed it, didn't you, when we went camping? And all the music.
There you go.
Digger now. We're happy now. We've got Digger.
That's my nephew loves the diggers.
Yeah, little boys in there.
Loves the tractors. It's crazy, man.
Oh, so what lies ahead for Jam for Freedom now? What are you kind of envisioning for, obviously more touring, and you've also got chapters in, well, all over the place, haven't you? In the States, Canada. I've seen like just other countries popping up. It's just all
Yeah. Well, what lies for the future is just I think initially just to keep doing what we've been really successful with, which is the touring, and bringing, you know, Nature for Freedom, all the great products that we sell, which helps us keep going.
We'll put a link, by the way, to all of the
thank you
underneath.
Honestly, it sells out. We get repeat people buying it online, and
I know,
it's slowly becoming, you know, it's becoming too much work. So, you know, let's create our own L'Oreal, let's create our own makeup brands.
Exactly.
You know, just destroy the competition.
I love that.
End it, man.
Yeah,
up to that.
Come on, let's do it, and let's do it together. So that's what we're doing. Is, you know, we're creating our own economy. We did the Jam for Freedom session, so we did free recording for musicians that was censored. So we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep releasing original music and helping to record it, so that could turn into a kind of record label type thing where we help musicians and they help us, and something along those lines. International chapters as well. We've got international tours. We had an American tour. I almost got into America, but they didn't like me, so they wouldn't let me in. So I'll have to come back another time. That was a bit of a hectic one. I've just recovered from that ordeal of being detained in US border control. That was pretty customs. That was pretty gnarly.
that was.
Can tell you a bit about that if you want.
We were a bit worried. I was getting.
No, I saw, and I was like, oh my god!
I was getting messages saying, "Have you heard from Campbell?" He's like, "What's happening?" So what actually, for anyone who doesn't know, what happened?
Yeah. So Jam for Freedom's got chapters worldwide, and we've got musicians in America that play. We've got some playing next weekend. And I was due to go and meet the San Francisco chapter. So we're going to start from the East Coast, San Francisco, and then move through and then head to the West Coast, where we've got chapters as well, stay at people's houses that we, you know, play in Texas, Arizona, all those cities along the way, you know, to get to the East Coast. So I got there, went there with Betty, my girlfriend, and she got in. But then they said to me, "Oh, you know, you're a musician, and you know, people are going to donate to you." And I said, "Well, you know, I've got friends that are going to donate to me so I can help cover my trip. It's just a gift. You know, I'm not working, I'm not employed." And they didn't like the idea of a musician coming over, playing on the streets for free, almost like a missionary, you know. The tax man's not going to get a cut. You know, we weren't there to make money, but they just couldn't take no for an answer. Just didn't believe me. Spoke to some references that were in America that knew me. So I was detained for a whole day in the customs kind of office with a bed. They're all like police with the guns and, you know, the handcuffs, and threatening to take my phone and unlock it, saying, "Oh, you're lying to us, and that's a federal crime." I said, "I'm not lying to you." It was just like it was getting really, it was getting quite stressful. And Betty was quite stressed out because she had to wait and work out. You know, she got let in, and then she was just stressed out, wondering, you know, I've been arrested, blah, blah, blah. So I couldn't contact her. So that took us a while to get over. But we're gonna try and do it again, but just come in with a better plan and get some return tickets and, you know, look at maybe some work visas or something. But that was a bit mental. But the tour still happened. It's still going. There's still gigs happening in America. Couldn't be a part of them this time, but, you know, maybe it wasn't meant to be. And, you know, we came back home and we just did some more gigs. We went and played in Bournemouth last week. We did a gig in Poole at the Stand in Poole. And
I saw a lot of the videos.
yeah.
It looked brilliant. You had quite a lot of people come and join you. There was a few ladies singing I saw that were excellent as well.
Yeah, exactly. He knows.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, unfortunately. It was a shame to get so close. Be actually on North American soil and then be told I can't come in. But we had a great time in Bournemouth last week, and Paul and we've got a lot of gigs coming up. So it is what it is. We're never going to stop. You know, we started this movement under a lot of pressure, under a lot of naysayers. Basically, I could only find one musician in the whole country that could tour with me, not joking, out of hundreds and thousands that had seen my advert. One musician, and it was a gent called Alan, who's about my dad's age, you know, in his 50s, late 50s, who owns a construction company, and he would do his work in the morning for the construction, you know, managing it, sorting jobs out. And then he'd come and play out with us in parks, in front of police, in front of hundreds of people. How rock and roll is that? You know, and it was just an amazing story. And we were the only touring band in the UK, and even in Ireland. We went to Ireland, and we were still the only band that was playing outside. Police were hassling us to guard up. So
you got some incredible support and endorsements, didn't you, from some famous faces?
Yeah, I never thought anyone in the music industry would get in touch, because we spent from December 2020 to kind of April 2021, it was just totally grassroots. No one was getting involved that was not in the freedom movement, you could say. And then when we did a big gig in Hyde Park I think it was the end of April 2021, police came in, recklessly damaged our equipment, pushed people over. Some of you might have been there. But you know, it didn't, you know, the police retreated outside of the park. Anyway, Eric Clapton was watching the live stream because there was a lot of journalists reporting it. Resistance GB, actual coverage, you know, Media Consumer 9/11, loads of amazing independent journalists, which has popped up now. But Eric Clapton was watching, and he donated to us to help us get some new equipment. And then I had an accident with the car that we had donated to us, cheap little people carrier. It got written off. I texted Eric, said, Eric, we've had an issue with the car. Could you help us out? And he went, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And then he texted me the next day and said, you can borrow our VW transporter, which is, you know, like a tour bus. So I went and met him, got the tour bus. And then he showed me, he was writing a song called Where Have All the Rebels Gone with Van Morrison. And he said, Campbell, come and check this. You like that song? Do you like that song?
He's a little rebel.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mummy says, Mummy's just going upstairs to do an interview. He just... No, he doesn't listen like his mum.
Well, I went upstairs to Eric Clapton's studio, and he showed me this song that he was working on. He said to me, I wrote this solo whilst watching you guys play live on like YouTube.
Wow.
What's going on? But then he helped support us since then. So he put us in his music video called This Has Got to Stop. And that was like mental, because it's got almost 3 million views.
Amazing.
So because of that support, we've been able to reach out far more internationally. So chapters in Argentina, Paraguay, Canada, America, Australia, New Zealand, Switzerland, Spain, Ireland, Scotland, etc., etc. And Van Morrison obviously helped us out. His charity helped us buy some equipment during the lockdowns in the summer. Yeah, so I mean that's been incredible. That was just incredible to be recognized. It wasn't even like the financial, it was just like the moral support of like, yeah, someone is actually backing what we do. It just was I never thought it would happen, but it did.
we saw like how
Yeah.
many musicians or bands, like you say, like rock and roll, like seriously, that it was just like absolute radio silence, wasn't it? If there
It
weren't
was just sick.
bands actually you know, out there blatantly going along with the whole thing and pushing the propaganda, it was just like literally tumbleweeds. You didn't hear anything. So it's quite something to, yeah, to finally have you know, some really big names actually
Yeah.
sort of putting their head up above the parapet and speaking out. I know there have been a few,
Yeah.
I mean, on the whole, it's been really, really poor, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Van Morrison, he released a song called No More Lockdowns, and that gave me a push to do Jam for Freedom in a way. It's like this circular economy. It's like you do the right thing and you follow the truth and you put your work out there, and it will inspire people like me to go and create and be this foot soldier to create something massive, because I get that little push to give me that confidence boost that, you know, I'm not alone, and here we are, you know, and what we've got at Jam for Freedom is incredible, and you know, you have seen that over time more musicians have started to talk about it and show their support. And if you actually go to the Jam for Freedom website, we've collated hundreds of musicians that have publicly shown their support. So you can actually go and check out their music directly on our website, go to their websites, you know, email them, buy their music, support them, put their music on your playlists from all over the world, from, you know, England, Australia, Ireland, Europe, South America. So you know, it has happened slowly, but I guess you know, when you're the pioneers of an idea and of a certain belief, then, you know, you're going to be alone at first.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it takes a bit of time, but then yeah, it's just things kind of gather momentum, and it's because it's got a whole energy of its own, hasn't it, that cannot help but draw more people and inspire them to then go on and do, you know, whatever it might be. But it's always that little spark, isn't it, in the beginning? And it felt a lot more lonely, I think, for most of us a couple of years ago. From like, we've come a long way.
It's been quite the journey, hasn't it?
And it's, I mean, we're still on it, but I think, you know, we're kind of, as we go along, we've got more and more people coming and joining us and walking alongside us. But yeah, look, we're running low on time now. So is there anything you'd like to sort of put out there, Campbell? We'll share all the links to the website, all your social media and everything. Any final words?
yeah, no, it's just amazing to be part of this community at Stand in the Park, and we've moved on now to rallies and, you know, that madness, and feeling alone to feeling like we've got this beautiful community now. So guys, if you want us to play at your parks, if you want to book us in, just go to jamforfreedom.com, drop us an email, contact@jamforfreedom.com, get in touch on the social medias. You know, there's so much you can do on the website. You can become a member, you can donate to us, you can buy t-shirts and hoodies, you can buy mugs, all kinds of stuff. And as I said, find hundreds of pro-freedom musicians out there. You can also go to natureforfreedom.com. We've got sea moss gel, organic, wild. This stuff sells out super quick. As I said, we got all the teas, all the beautiful colors, rose tea, peppermint, goes on and on. Salves as well, Nature for Freedom salves. So that's homemade moisturizers, organic, beautiful products.
Nice stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a little browse through again on Sunday, because we've got the stand in St Albans, which
I know,
really needed, much needed at the moment for a lot of.
So guys, come along and try out some of this stuff. It helps my skin. I know. I basically never get spots anymore because of this stuff.
You look
put it on your beard,
radiant.
Put it on your hair. But it's all great stuff, and I love seeing people create their own economies and communities, and hopefully at Jam for Freedom we can help get those communities together. keep inspiring you. And also come and get involved. Musicians are always welcome. It's a jam. You're all welcome. Come and sing with us.
Everyone's welcome.
Thank you, Campbell. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for all you've done and all you're doing. Keep up the amazing work, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. See you.
Bunch of legends. See you later. Thank you, guys. Peace and love, everybody out there. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.